the early hours of January 20th, 2010, a team of 11 operatives moved through the marble corridors of the AI Bustan Rotana Hotel in Dubai. They carried passports from 6 different nations. Their faces would soon be splashed across international headlines, but their target would never check out. What happened in room 230 that night would expose one of the most sophisticated assassination operations in modern intelligence history. An operation so meticulously planned, so technologically advanced, that it reads like something from a spy thriller. Yet, the most chilling part isn't what we know about this mission, is what we still don't know. Welcome back to World 247. Today we are pulling back the curtain on Operation Dubai, Mossad's most audacious and controversial mission of the 21st century. A mission that would reshape how intelligence agencies operate in the digital age and reveal the terrifying precision of modern shadow warfare. But first, let me ask you something. How do you make a man disappear in one of the most surveilled cities on earth? The answer will shock you. The setup, the perfect storm. To understand why 11 of the world's most elite operatives converged on Dubai that January night, we need to go back to 2006. That's when Mohammed al-Mahmoub first appeared on Israel's most wanted list. Al-Mahmoub wasn't just another Hamas operative. He was organization's chief weapons smuggler, the man responsible for flooding Gaza with Iranian rockets and explosives. His network had turned the simple act of living in southern Israel into a daily lottery with death. But more than that, he was untouchable, protected by Hamas in Gaza, welcomed by Iran, and careful enough to stay out of Israel's reach for over 2 decades. Until Dubai. See, Al-Mahmoub had a weakness, a medical condition that required treatment unavailable in Gaza. There was only one place in the region where he could receive the treatment discreetly, without drawing unwanted attention from Israel intelligence. At least that's what he thought. Dubai in 2010 was the perfect hunting ground, a global crossroads where anonymity was easy to buy, where surveillance was sophisticated enough to catch petty criminals but not necessarily elite operatives who knew how to exploit the system. The city's reputation for security was actually part of the trap. What al-Mahmoub didn't know was that Israeli intelligence had been tracking his medical needs for months. They knew his condition, they knew about his treatment schedule, and they knew that eventually he would have to come out of hiding. The operation that followed would involve more than just the 11 operatives in Dubai. Intelligence sources suggest the mission required coordination across multiple time zones, with assets in Europe providing logistical support, technological teams in Israel monitoring communications, and command structure that could adapt in Israel time to unexpected developments. But here's what makes this truly chilling. The Mossad didn't just plan to eliminate al-Mabhoob, they planned to do it in a way that would send a message to every enemy of Israel around the world. No matter where you hide, no matter how secure you think you are, we will catch you and we will eliminate you. The message was clear, there's nowhere to run. The execution, a digital age assassination. What happened next reads like a masterclass in modern tradecraft. The 11 operatives didn't arrive together, they came in waves over several days, each using meticulously crafted identities. They carried real passports from real countries: Australia, Britain, Ireland, France, Germany. But the identities were borrowed, stolen from unsuspecting citizens who happened to have the right profile. The operation began before al-Mabhoob even arrived in Dubai. The team had already identified his hotel, his room, even his planned movements. How? Intelligence sources suggest they had penetrated not just his communication networks but those of his associates. Every call, every message, every digital footprint was being monitored. On January 19th, Al-Mabhoob checked into the Bustan Rotana Hotel, room 230. He had no idea he was already surrounded. The surveillance footage from that night tells a story of surgical precision. Operatives moving through the hotel like ghosts, appearing on camera just long enough to be seen, then vanishing into blind spots they had clearly mapped out in advance. They used the hotel's own security systems against itself, timing their movements to avoid detection while ensuring they would be visible enough to create a confusion later. But here's where operation becomes truly remarkable. They didn't just eliminate their target, they staged his death to look natural. Al-Maboob was found the next morning in his hotel room, apparently having died of a heart attack. No signs of struggle, no obvious wounds. If not for the investigation that followed, the world might never know what really happened. The toxicology reports, when they finally came, revealed traces of succinylcholine, a paralytic agent that mimics the symptoms of cardiac arrest and breaks down rapidly in the body. It's a kind of sophisticated method that requires not just access to military grade compounds, but the medical knowledge to administer them effectively. What's even more chilling is how they got into his room. Hotel records show that Al-Mabooh keycard was used multiple times throughout that evening, but he never left his room after returning from dinner. The operatives had somehow cloned his keycard, allowing him to come and go as they pleased. This wasn't just an assassination, it was a demonstration of capabilities that most intelligence agencies could only dream of. The operation combined human intelligence, signals intelligence, technical operation, and direct action in a seamless display of modern warfare. But the Mossad made one crucial miscalculation. They underestimated how thoroughly Dubai's security apparatus would investigate what initially appeared to be a natural death. When perfection meets reality, the unraveling. Dubai's response to the investigation would change intelligence operations forever. What the Mossad saw as a sterile, anonymous environment, Dubai saw as a violation of their sovereignty. The Emirate Security Services didn't just investigate, they declared war over operatives' anonymity. Using sophisticated facial recognition software and coordination with international partners, Dubai authorities began piecing together the operatives' movements. They tracked them from the airport to their hotels, from their hotels to surveillance positions around Al-Maboob's room, and back to the departure flights. Every movement was catalogued, every face was identified. Within weeks, the faces of all 11 operatives were released to international media. Their fake passports were exposed, their movements tracked, their operational security dismantled piece by piece. It was an intelligence nightmare. An entire network burned down to global spotlight. The diplomatic fallout was immediate and severe. Britain expelled an Israeli diplomat. Australia did the same. Ireland, Germany, and France all lodged formal protests about the use of their citizens' identities. For the first time in decades, Israel found itself genuinely isolated on the international stage over a single operation. But here's what makes this story truly fascinating. Despite all the evidence, despite the diplomatic crisis, despite the international outcry, Israel never officially acknowledged the operation. To this day, the official position remains one of the strategic ambiguity. Neither confirmation nor denial. Why? Because the operation, despite its exposure, was ultimately successful. Al-Mabooh was eliminated. His weapons smuggling network was disrupted, and the message was sent loud and clear to every enemy of Israel: nowhere is safe. The exposure of operatives' faces and methods didn't just burn one network, it forced intelligence agencies worldwide to completely rethink their approach to covert operations in the digital age. Facial recognition technology, ubiquitous surveillance, and international data sharing had fundamentally changed the game. Intelligence experts now refer to the Dubai operation as the last of the old school assassinations. Everything that came after had to account for the reality that anonymity. What makes this mission truly mysterious isn't what we know, it's what we'll never know. How many other operations like this have succeeded without detection? How many networks remain unburned? How many targets have been eliminated without the world ever knowing they were hunted? In the world of intelligence, the greatest victories are the ones that remain forever invisible.